Now this is the BMW F30 335d, and on paper this car seems too good to be true. It's got over 300 horsepower, all-wheel drive, and enough torque to embarrass some proper sports cars, all while returning over 40 miles per gallon. The question I want to know is this the proper ultimate all-rounder, or is there a catch? Well, I'm Max Tavani, and welcome to Driven Plus. First impressions, it's smooth, effortless and seriously quick in just everyday driving. And this ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox is seamless and there's almost no hesitation when going through the gears. It's a BMW with a straight six engine, what's there not to like? And let's say I put my foot down. This thing is properly quick. Wow, you can definitely feel the torque from that diesel engine. Now this car has actually been tuned, and I'll tell you the figures very shortly, but the gearbox has also been tuned as well. So although the gearbox is very good at being smooth, when you want them to be quick, then it's so good. It's so responsive. The gear changes are rapid. They really are. Now with this being an X-Drive model, you would have thought it'd feel quite heavy, but it's actually composed. Now I've recently reviewed a 440i Grand Coupe. Now that's a rear-wheel drive model. This is obviously X-Drive. And one thing I've noticed is that the steering is a little bit disconnected in this car compared to that car. However, though, it still inspires you with confidence. So let's chuck it around these two bends here. It makes you want to push on. And this car's great for fast road driving. And you've got that torque to push you out as well. And the X-Drive system is rear bias, so it's a proper BMW. But let's stop over somewhere and check out the engine. So under the bonnet of the 335d sits a 3-litre straight six diesel engine, turbocharged, better known as the N57 engine. Now the standard horsepower on this car is 313 horsepower and 630 newton meters of torque. However, the owner Mark has took this to GKR Performance and it's undergone a Stage 1 Plus map. It now produces 411 horsepower and 830 newton meters of torque. This is electronically limited to 155 miles per hour, and BMW say the standard 335d will do a 0 to 60 time of 4.8 seconds. But we know BMW love to lie about the figures, and this is of course tuned. So let's see what we're going to get now. So this car does have launch control, and I've got everything in my favour to get a great time. Weather's good, dry roads, X-Drive, tuned engine and a tuned gearbox. On your screen now are the stats and figures on this car, so pause your screen if you want to look into them. Now, to put this car on launch control, traction control has to be fully off and gearbox has to be in S, I believe. I think that's going to do it. Let's see what we're going to get. No launch control there. Does it need to be Sport Plus instead? Maybe this is it. Here we go. Yep. Wow, so much torque. No way! 3.51 for 335d. Wow, that's genuinely shocked me. That's so fast and so impressive. Wow. Well, Mark's going to be happy with that. The owner said to me before, he said, I'd love to get a 4.1. I said to him, I think we're going to get quicker, but I didn't expect it to be that quick. Oh my God. Well, let's go for run number 2. Oh my God. Don't know what we got there. Well, it's red, so it's slower, but I don't think it's going to be slow by much. 3.59. Oh, wow, what a quick car this is. We're going to have to go for a third time. There's so much torque when you're building up the boost. So, right, here we go. Run number 3. That's good. 3.87 there. Well, that's more like it. That's what I was expecting, not 3.5. Anyway, what a fantastic time. That's what it stacks up against. Wow, that's really shocked me, to be fair. Fair play. What a car. Back to the review. And at the back, you've got the chrome 335d badge, X-Drive badge to let people know that this car is fast and you should not play with it. And you've got the twin exhaust down here. And this car sounds something like this. Well, it's a diesel. It's not going to sound as good as the petrol, but you can definitely tell that straight six tone is coming through. Now, let's look into the boot. Now, at the time, this was bigger than the Audi A4, coming in at 480 litres. There's loads of space in there, and there's no button to press it down, which you get on the updated 3 Series, by the way. So it's all manual, this car. It's old school. Inside, it's classic F30, business-like and well built. And if you spec these cars right, such as this one, it does give you some nice features such as Harman Kardon sound system, a heads-up display, and you can also spec these cars with adaptive cruise control, which is rare. Don't think this car has it as well. But I think the interior of the F30 generation is starting to show its age a little, because you've got the analog dials, you've got buttons for your climate controls, which I like, by the way. I really like analog dials and climate control buttons because it's just so easy to use. But even the infotainment screen, this is iDrive 6. It's very easy to use, and you've got the touch sensitive buttons on here to navigate to menus quicker. And as I said before, it's very well built. The materials used is very nice. You've got this brushed aluminium effect going on. Gear stick is in the middle here, handbrake here, and your centre console box is a good size. You've got the aux cable and a USB socket as well. Glove box is also a good size, and that's lined with lovely velvet as well. But it's just a nice place to be. But I really like these seats. They're really comfortable, great for going on long journeys as well. But I just like the layout of this generation BMW, and it's an interior which I'm very familiar with, so I'm very used to this interior. You've also got massive door bins there, so they're great as well. But it's simple. They haven't overly done it, and I like it. Great place to be. And visually, this thing is a bit of a sleeper. There's absolutely no knowing that this is a 335d until it passes you and you see the badge on the back. There's no aggressive badging, there's no flared arches, it's just a clean design. Where I feel this car stands out is long distance driving. It'll sit at motorway speeds, sipping fuel, and return you 50 to 60 miles per gallon. And that's where the 335d really makes sense. It's a performance car that you can daily without any compromise. I suppose the only compromise, if I was to pick one, would be the noise this thing makes. Have a listen. I mean, for a diesel, it actually sounds pretty decent. There is that classic straight six tone coming through there with a bit of a growl. But let's be honest, it's no 340i. So I think noise is the only compromise you have to make when you own a 335d. But let's put this car in its most sportiness settings. So gearbox in S, Sport Plus for the engine, and traction control has been deactivated. We're now in dynamic traction. And basically the car sharpens up. The gearbox holds on to gears longer, and with the traction being off, the X-Drive system will actually allow you to have a bit of slip on the rear end. However though, today is beautiful, wonderful weather, it's very dry. So I think we're going to struggle to get the rear end out. But say there's a bit of moisture lying about, I don't think you're going to struggle. But this thing is playful. The gearbox, when using the paddles, is very responsive. And you use the torque to come out of the corner, and it puts a smile on your face. It's a rewarding drive. And these cars are so fast. Honestly, there's nothing more frustrating when I'm sat in my M4 and I get a 335d or 435d owner come up behind me. We both put our foot down, and he stays with me up until our speed limit of 70 miles per hour. But that's what the owner of these cars want to achieve. They want you to make you feel bad that you didn't buy diesel power, but petrol power for the win. Yes. And because you have that torque from that diesel engine, it just makes it so effortless to drive. It's a very nice place to be. And I'm just feathering the throttle because there's so much torque. And it's great at being a proper luxury cruiser which you can go for miles in, and then the next minute you put your foot down and you're bullying sports cars. And it's just an ultimate cruiser, this thing. It's so comfortable, the ride is very good, and the sound insulation is good as well. It's very quiet in here. I can get over 500 miles from a full tank. The question I want to know is though, would I choose the 340i over this? I think I would, just because of noise factor and the fact that you're getting a B58 as well. However though, if I was to choose between the two cars to get in every day, go to work, sit on the motorway, do my commute, without a doubt, it'd be the 335d. So the BMW 335d then, does it live up to the hype? Well, if you're after something that does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, comfortable, practical, and economical in terms of it will return you 50 to 60 miles per gallon on a long run, it's so hard to argue against. Yes, it's not as playful as a rear-driven petrol BMW, but in terms of real-world use, there's no denying that this is one of the best all-round performance cars you can buy right now. So let me know in the comments, would you take this over a 340i or M car? But I'd like to say a massive thanks to Mark for letting me get a review on this fantastic ultimate driving machine today. So thanks Mark, thanks for coming down, appreciate it as well, and you brought the nice weather with you too. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video, please press that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And if you've got a car you'd like me to review, get in touch with me and we'll get a date in the diary. Cheers guys, bye bye.